Hello everyone. In the previous video, we looked at how we can gain fine control over the batch operations. We put all the insert statements into separate chain sets within the same batch operation, and we were able to submit the batch operation to the backend. So in this video, we will look at how we can gain some control over what gets sent to the backend. So for example, right now we have the submit changes button, but when I click on the submit changes button, any changes that have been made to the model or all the changes that have been made to the model is now sent to the backend. But SAP UI5 provides fine control over what can be submitted to the backend as well. By default, all the changes made to the model is sent to the backend. But let's say you want to only send a subset of the changes to the backend, you can do that as well. So let me go to the next branch, which is going to be branch 10. Let me go ahead and run this as well. Okay, now that the application is running, if I go into my application itself, so if I run this application, notice that you will see that we have three different submit buttons. So you will have a submit button for create, a submit button for update, and a submit button for delete. So we have submit create, submit update, and submit delete. So if I go back to my code itself, and if I open the view file, the master view.file, so they all call the on submit button, but we pass in either create, update, or delete based on what button gets clicked. So they all call the same method as well. So if I go into my master controller.js, so in my on submit, you will see that it's the same function, submit changes, except that we have this group ID, and this group ID, the property is going to be either create, update, or delete based on what button was clicked. And also when we do the create, so if I go into my create operation, so there's a little bit of a change in the create operation. So along with creating, we have the change set here as well. But now we are also having a group ID right here. And this group ID, the value that we submit is create. I mean, this group ID can be whatever. So the way the OData model works is you can, when you create an entry, you can put it in the default group. If you don't specify any group ID, it puts it in the group default group, and when you hit submit changes, everything that's in the default is being sent. But now we have our own group. So basically what we are telling SAP UI5 is that, hey, all these changes, just group them together in this group ID, and then when I do the submit changes, I will use this group ID and then just submit to the backend only the group ID that I want to send. So in this case, when I do create, I'm putting all these changes in this group ID called create. So if I do a submit changes for any other group, it is not going to be sent. So in my application itself, let me go ahead and refresh this application. If I go ahead and create, let's say, an A. So now I have an entry that is created. But if I hit submit update, let me also put a breakpoint right here in this source. So if I go into my submit changes, so yeah, I'm putting a breakpoint right here in submit changes. And then I've inserted a row, but I'm going to hit submit delete. So when I hit submit delete, this group ID here is going to be delete. So if I hover around group ID is delete. And if I let it run through, because it's not the right, this group ID delete does not have any changes in it. So if I let it run through, there is no batch request that is being sent to the backend. If I hit submit update as well, so the group ID is update. If I let it run through, there is going to be no batch request also. But if I hit submit create, then this group ID is create, and all the changes that we made also was under this group ID create. So when we created this row, we said the group ID is create. So now when I let it run through, it should send the changes to the backend. So if I go into my network, you will see that there is a batch request. Same thing with delete as well. So if I went ahead and deleted this row, only if I hit submit delete, this will get sent to the backend. So if I hit submit delete, this is going to be sent to the backend because this group ID, when I did the delete, I put it under this group ID of delete. So this is going to be now sent to the backend. So if I let it run through, I will see in my network tab that there is a batch to send the delete request. Okay, so with the help of group ID, you can control what gets submitted to the backend. So SAP UI5 provides you with fine control using batch operations so that you can put various operations within a chain set. And then you can also use this group ID to control what gets sent to the backend from the OData model. Hope this helps. Thank you very much.